You're listening to the Life Coaching Secrets Podcast, episode number 90. Did you know that life coaches are needed now more than ever? I'm Frank Macri, founder of Thriving Coach Academy. I've trained over 1,000 coaches and helped them launch their own successful coaching businesses. If you want to make an incredible income and impact as a coach and have a lot of fun doing it, I'll show you exactly how to get it done. This is Life Coaching Secrets. What's up, coaches? This is episode 90. What an awesome milestone that we have achieved here on the podcast. And I want to give a very special thank you to listeners like you, those of you that are new to the podcast, or those who have been listening so loyally over the past 90 episodes. Thank you so much for making this so fun. I love hearing how this podcast has impacted you and your journey as a life coach. So this episode will be very special. I am going to not really talk as much because I want to feature one of our successful life coaches from inside Thriving Coach Academy. And she's going to talk about how she's replaced her salary of her previous job with her life coaching business. And as she begins to share, I want to talk about a concept that I teach a lot of our coaches about, and that's the concept and the idea of going from pro bono to high ticket. So what does that mean? Now, if you're listening to this podcast and episode, you're probably wondering how on earth you can make decent money as a life coach. And the good news is that there is so much money to make as a life coach. There's really uncapped earning potential in this industry. No one is putting a limit on what you can earn. So that's why one of the questions I ask all of our potential students when they're enrolling, and our team also asks this question, it's the question, what would you love to earn as a coach? What would you love to earn? What would blow your mind? And a lot of people often say that they would like to start out by replacing their current salary, what they're currently making in their job. And I think that's an awesome goal to start with. A lot of our other coaches will say they want to go for $10,000 a month. That's their first milestone they start with, and they go from there. Now, of course, it's not all about the money. Of course, it's about the income and the impact that you have as a coach. But if you are running a business, then money is needed to flow in for it to be a viable business. So just because we talk about money on some of these episodes, of course, that does not take away from the true impact that you're having on people's lives and the results that you are helping your clients achieve. One of the ways to make a great living as a coach is getting your clients amazing results. And that's what we teach our coaches how to do. Have both the impact on people's lives and also the income to go along with it. So if you have this thought that, oh, you don't really want to do it for the money, you just want to transform people's lives, what I like to counter that is, why not have both? Why not make a big difference in people's lives and also have a great income to go along with it? So in this episode, I'm going to be talking more about the money part. And I'm going to transition to one of our coaches, Stephanie, who's going to share her story, her path into coaching, and how she's already been replacing her old income in her first year as a life coach. So when you get started as a coach, there comes a point where you need to start deciding what you want to charge clients. And one of the things that we teach our students how to do is charging high ticket, or charging a premium for your coaching. You may have heard me talk about this on other podcast episodes, and it's one of the things that makes our program so unique that we teach our coaches how to charge high ticket, how to do it confidently, how to do it ethically, and how to do it in a way that people are excited to invest and work with you. So charging high ticket means, I define it as charging anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 per client. So you are standing out in a way because you're not just charging at a cheap level. You really are looking to work with the people that are seeking that big investment in themselves and that deep transformation. You're attracting a whole different caliber of client when you charge high ticket. So it's really a win-win for both you and your client, because it's a win for them. They're deeply invested in the coaching process, right? They're going to take it seriously because they're really invested in it. And it's a win for you because you are well-resourced as a coach. And when you're well-resourced, then you don't have to worry about paying your bills. You get to show up in the best possible way to your client. And you create this beautiful container where you help your clients get optimal results because they're so engaged and you're also so engaged. And you don't have to worry about how you're going to be finding your next clients because you're charging a high ticket, you have plenty of money flowing in, and you don't have to focus so much on the money. You can just focus on your clients. So when you get started, you might not feel confident charging high ticket, and that's okay. There's no one that's going to force you to do it. We're certainly not going to force you to begin charging thousands of dollars for your coaching right out the gate. So what I recommend a lot of coaches do is they start with pro bono. And you're going to hear in Stephanie's story later in this episode how she began with working with some clients pro bono. Pro bono just means that you are not charging them anything. So you might wonder, well, how on earth is that going to be helpful to not really charge a lot? Well, let me explain it to you. So there is a way that you can very quickly go from charging nothing to charging premium. So your first few clients you might enroll for free with the condition that when they get amazing results from working with you, they will provide you with an amazing testimonial, preferably a video testimonial. So when you get started, and this is what I did when I got started, I just started to work with a handful of people pro bono because I wanted to build up my confidence. I didn't feel confident yet charging anything, and that's fine. But I also wanted to grow a large business, a profitable business. So I started pro bono. I got some client testimonials coming in and I was able to leverage those because that showed credibility, and that also boosted my own confidence because I saw how my coaching and the coaching process helped the clients get amazing results. So you might start out with your first couple of clients are pro bono. So they give you an amazing testimonial after they start working with you. And sometimes people ask, well, how long are you working with these clients and how many sessions and all the logistical things? And we're going to help you figure that out in the academy. But for the purposes of this episode, let's say that you start out with a bundle of 12 coaching sessions that you have with this client every single week. 12 sessions is usually a good amount of time for clients to start getting results. However, I also say that really just coach this person until they start getting amazing results. See what else they need from you and your work together for them to start really getting a ton of value. So you coach the crap out of these first couple of clients until they start getting results, and you're going to learn a lot in that process. You're going to become a much better coach through that experience. And then you'll have that confidence to start charging. So your first couple of clients, you were pro bono and you got amazing testimonials. Now, your next client, you're not just able to show up to them and offer them coaching. You're also able to show them testimonials, showing them real results that your past clients have achieved. So this is where you will begin to charge some kind of amount. The rule of thumb is to always charge what you feel confident charging. Don't worry about the number of sessions. I know a lot of people get sucked into the logistics and all of those unnecessary details. Just focus on charging what you feel confident charging. Don't even worry about how long or how many sessions you're going to work with that client. Just keep supporting them until they get great results. So let's say that you have a little bit more confidence and you charge this client $200. $200 to work with them over 12 sessions. Now, again, if you divide that up, that is not a very high hourly rate. But it doesn't matter. You've got to keep your perspective big here, right? Look at the big picture. The big picture is you are getting yourself closer and closer to charging high ticket. So you charge this client $200. Maybe this is the first time that you're ever charging someone for anything in your life. So that could be a huge deal. Okay, maybe you're even charging $100. Doesn't matter. You just got to start with something. So you charge $200, you get an amazing testimonial. Great. Now you're getting even more confident. The next client, which let's say is your fourth client now, you're charging $500. Same thing. You're going to coach them. You're going to get an amazing testimonial. Now you're up to your fifth client and you just continue to raise your rates, which you are allowed to do. You can decide whenever you want to raise your rates. You are allowed to ethically do that. You don't have to keep your rates the same. You don't have to wait a year before you can raise your rates. You can double or triple or quadruple your rates overnight. You are allowed to do that. So now it's your fifth client, you're charging $1,000 for them to work with you. So, okay, we're getting somewhere. You've worked with your first handful of clients. Again, they're giving you an amazing testimonial. And now the next client is investing $2K. Okay, great. Now you're charging $2K. And the thing is, once you start confidently charging one amount, it's hard to go back, right? You're not going to want to lower your rates. It's going to feel out of integrity for you to do that. Okay, so once you go high ticket, you're not going to go in the backwards direction. You're only going to keep going from there. So then you charge your next client. What are we up to? Client number 6, $2K. And then you charge your client after that $5K. Okay, so in this example, again, I call this going from pro bono to high ticket. It only took 7 clients for you to go from charging absolutely nothing to charging high ticket, charging $5,000 per client. Now, this is one example of what that might look like. Maybe you take on a few more pro bono clients before you feel confident. I want you to understand the concept more than the implementation, okay? So as long as you're understanding the concept of going from pro bono to high ticket, then you're golden. You will get there, okay? So that is a really great strategy for you to apply to get yourself to charging high ticket. And if you do the math with whatever salary you have right now, if you think about whatever you're earning per month, right? Maybe you're earning right now $5,000 a month in your current job. Well, if you're charging $5,000 per client, you only need one client, one human on the planet Earth per month to replace your income as a coach. If you're making $10,000 a month in your current career, then you only need 2 clients at the $5,000 per client level. If you're charging $10K per client, then you only need 1. So are you seeing how this is coming together? Is the math making sense to you? Hopefully it is. So I want you to think right now in your brain, what are you earning right now? And then when you're charging high ticket, how few clients will you need to replace your income? For many people, you will only need a couple of clients per month charging high ticket to completely replace and even surpass your monthly income. Okay, so that is how you replace your current income with your income as a life coach. So keep that in mind. And now I want to pass over the microphone, so to speak, to Stephanie. She's going to share her story, how she got into coaching, and how she's now charging, how she's now replaced her previous income with her income as a life coach. So enjoy Stephanie's story, and I will see you all in the next episode.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Lynn. I discovered coaching 8 years ago when I began my self-development journey, and my very first book was You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, which kind of set me on my path. So I knew about life coaches then. I'd heard about them, and then I read Jen's book, and she's like, I was a life coach and I get to help people all the time. And I thought, that sounds amazing. I want to do that too. And at the time, I was really deep in therapy, and I was trying to figure out like how not to be codependent and set better boundaries. And I just had a lot of healing to do first before I felt like I could move forward with that passion. So my understanding at the time, having only come from therapy and then, the regular world, was that coaching was kind of a combination of therapy and just giving advice. And I was working really hard at the time to set really good boundaries and not try to fix people. I didn't want to advise them. I just wanted to learn how to help people help themselves. So it took a while for me to come back to it. I worked with a coach when I was starting my first business as a professional organizer. I worked with another coach for communication. I did group coaching programs. I did online programs. And so just learning more about the coaching world made me more excited to follow that passion and pursue that. So I decided to join TCA in the spring in May 2022 because I had been making changes in my life to create more financial stability so that I actually knew I could pay for the course and that I could support myself so that I could spend my time learning and not worrying about how do I make ends meet to do this. And I also went to the professional organizing convention, which was a fun experience because I had really wanted to go for 5 years. And being there, I just realized I'm not an organizer. I've wanted to be a coach the whole time. I've always approached organizing with a very coach-like perspective where I wanted to help people to find their own answers and to design systems and habits that worked for them individually in their home and not just generic kind of cookie cutter stuff. So when I started looking for programs, I was looking at IPEC, I was looking at the Life Coach School, I was looking at um, the Institute for Life Coaching, I think. And I picked TCA because it was the most comprehensive program out of all of them. It has, oh my gosh, everything you could need. Like the business training was really appealing to me because I had learned how to start an organizing business, but I really wanted to learn how to have a really successful coaching business. And so having not just generic business advice, but coaching specific advice for how to grow your business was really, really appealing to me. And all of the practice opportunities are huge, like way more than the other programs. I mean, our practice sessions between mentor sessions, group sessions, peer sessions, and general practice comes to more than twice as much as the next program over. So the opportunity to have such robust learning in addition to the core training, in addition to the modules, and then having that business training, it was just a no-brainer. When I decided to join TCA, I didn't have any doubts. I knew that this was the time. I had gotten the messages from the universe, like I'm ready to go. I didn't feel like anything was getting in my way. But the morning of my admissions call, I had this huge fear come up because I was like, oh my God, what if this is a huge scam? So I started Googling you immediately. I Googled TCA and I looked on the ICF website and I found all this evidence to support that TCA actually is a school. It does exist. It is ICF certified. My biggest success and wins from the program kind of span the breadth of my life. So professionally, it's been 6 months since I joined TCA, and I have 4 paid one-on-one clients. And I also pre-sold a group coaching program that I have 3 participants in, and we've been doing one-on-one sessions to do goal setting. I also have been working really hard to leverage my professional organizing business and take the foundation that I've built there and move it into my coaching business. So I had already been speaking as an organizer, and I was able to book 2 paid speaking gigs for January 2023 with the experience that I had from organizing, and I get to do it now with coaching, which feels really, really exciting. So I realized I sold 2 one-on-one packages last 2 weeks ago, and they replaced my organizing income for an entire month with just those 2 packages. It felt really good to know that even 6 months into the program, I can replace my income. I can do this as a living. It was really validating for me to know that this is something I can do and be successful at. So that was just so exciting. And it happened and they came in and I immediately started thinking of my next goals. And when I started to slow down and think about it, I thought, that's really cool. Like I only needed 2 clients to be just as successful as I was in my previous business, and it's only going to go up from there. So that was really exciting. And in my personal life, I found this great tool with coaching, and I was totally guilty of coaching people against their will for a long time because I was just so excited about the things that I was learning that I wanted to try them out on other people without actually checking first. So I knew that I was having conversations with people and that I could sense there were things going on under the surface, and I didn't know how to get to them in a meaningful way. And so I would ask a lot of questions or I'd be curious and I just wouldn't feel like I was getting the answers. And because of my training with TCA, now I know exactly how to get to that level. I know how to talk to people on that deeper level and to ask them questions to get them going in different directions that are more helpful to them if they're interested in that, or even just to indulge my curiosity. Because in a coaching environment, you have a direction and an agenda and you follow what the client wants to talk about that day. But in your real life, you can still use, or in your non-professional life, you can still use coaching questions, you can still use clarifying, you can still use steer, you can still use all of these things to have more meaningful conversations with people. And I found that even in relationships that I thought were really healthy and were functioning well, I'm having better conversations and we're fixing conflict faster. I'm pushing myself to learn more things and to change my thoughts so that I can make progress faster. So it just feels like the tools I've been learning have helped in every area of my life. What I like most about the Academy is how robust and comprehensive the support and the coaching practice is, because I have really high standards. I knew I wanted to come in and I wanted to learn everything I could so that I could be the best possible coach. And TCA just covers that. It covers how to be an excellent coach, how to avoid the common pitfalls that are so easy when you're learning how to do coaching. And to be perfectly honest, with all of my pro bono clients, I made all the mistakes that you're not supposed to do. I've done every single one of them. But being able to learn through those experiences is so much more valuable than just going to the classes and learning about the theory and watching the videos and writing my notes in the textbook. Being able to do the group coaching practices immediately, even before Mod 1, doing the peer coaching, doing the mentor coaching, having the business coaching, and having the requirements, even the consultation requirements and the interview requirements, it really pushes you to challenge yourself and to learn more and to become the best possible coach that you can be. And that's exactly what I wanted. Because of my experiences with TCA, I see huge success for myself in my business. I feel like I held myself back in my old business because I always knew I was going to end up coaching. I knew that was my calling. I knew that was what I was meant to do. And so I played really small in my previous business because I didn't want it to get too big and then be hard to transition into coaching. So now that I feel like I'm on my path, it's so much easier to envision all the things that I've wanted for my life because now I can see how to get there. I can see how these skills and these gifts and the practice and the techniques that I'm honing are just going to get me towards my goals. And so I can see myself making $100,000 in a year for the first time ever. And I can see myself paying off the rest of my debt. And I can see myself traveling and being able to like buy beautiful gifts for my loved ones because that's something I've wanted to do for so many years and I haven't had the income to support that. So having these coaching skills and being on the coaching path just opens up a world of possibilities for me because I know that coaches can do anything. We are exactly equipped with all the skills we need to be successful and to help other people be successful too. For prospective students considering the academy, I would tell you to go for it and to trust that it's going to work out. And I know that that's really scary in the beginning because you feel like, oh, this is new. I'm learning new things. And I don't know if this is going to work out for me. But the skills that you're learning, no matter how you apply them, whether that means you want to start your own business or whether you want to bring them into whatever your career and your profession is now, you're going to be so equipped for success no matter what you do that it's so worth the investment. So your success is really inevitable no matter what you do. You're going to be able to take these skills. You're going to be learning things all the time. You're going to be able to see other coaches practicing from every level, from beginner to intermediate to master coaches. So you're going to be able to take in so much information and apply it that there's no way you're not going to learn and become a better coach and a better person coming out of this program. My advice to get the most out of the program is to participate as much as you can and to go full out in the practices. So even if you're observing, you're still going to learn so much from seeing what other coaches do, what their style is, what kind of questions they're asking, how they get to some of the things that you might be wondering when you're watching a client session. There's just no comparison to putting yourself fully into the academy and learning everything you can. And I would also say go out and find pro bono clients immediately. Do not wait until Mod 2, do not wait until Mod 3 to start working with people. Start practicing because that was really the key to my success. So I told everyone I knew that I was looking for practice clients and I offered them packages of 5 sessions or 10 sessions. And so by the time I got to Mod 1, I already had 30 to 40 hours of experience. And then my Module 1 experience just pushed me to that next level where I got to really experience the tools and techniques and to try them out with other coaches so that the things that I had been figuring out on my own really coalesced and made more sense after Mod 1. And then by the time I hit Mod 2, I was like, this is amazing. I know how to do all these things now. I can have really powerful conversations. I can get to that deeper level. And I just added experience after experience after experience. I would also like to share that we as coaches believe in our clients. We know that the stories and the victim stuff and all the crap that's blocking them from getting what they want in their life is because of their thoughts and it's because of their blocks and it's because of the things that they're doing to hold them back. So I would say the same thing about you as a coach. You are already prepared and you are already equipped to help people right now just because you're the type of person that wants to become a coach and you want to help people help themselves. So believe in yourself as much as you believe in your clients because you know that the secret to your success is your thoughts. It's what you're doing to further your success. It's how much you're growing. It's how much you're pushing yourself. It's how much you're getting past your fears. So if you're willing to believe in someone else and to know that they can change their lives right now, do the same thing for yourself because that's how you're going to find success.
Hey, would you like access to powerful coaching tools you can use on yourself and clients right away? For being a listener of the podcast, I'm giving you a VIP guest pass to get a sneak peek into my coach training program. Inside, you'll learn our coaches' secret tool they use to transform their clients' lives. And you'll also get a training on how to launch a coaching business. Just head over to www.thrivingcoachacademy.com/VIP to get started. I'll see you on the inside.